20% of married couples in the US are in a sexless marriage. A study back in 2017 in the Archive of Sexual Behavior found that 1 in 5 couples were having sex less than 10 times a year. That's absolutely crazy. Now, if we haven't met each other before, my name's Luke Finn and I'm the founder of the ARC system, which has helped hundreds of dads avoid divorce and reconnect with their wife. And today I want to have a conversation with you about the impact that sexual rejection is having on men and the misunderstandings what's causing your wife to say, "I've got a headache. I've got my period. I'm just not in the mood. I want space because the kids have been hanging out at me all day." Alright, you've got the picture. And if you find yourself in a sexless marriage, be sure to stick around to the end of this video where I'm going to give you the key to unlocking your wife's sex drive. Now with all that being said, let's dive right in. The effect of rejection. Being regularly rejected by your wife will take its toll on a man. There are mental repercussions. He'll start to experience anxiety and stress when it comes to the topic of sex because he starts telling himself stories. Maybe his wife doesn't love him anymore. Or maybe she's having an affair, and the longer this goes on, the problem just compounds. He'll start experiencing emotional issues, the feeling of being inadequate, of being undesirable. And here's the thing, ladies, if you're watching this, the majority of men are not having sex just to get their end away. It's not all about them. We have needs. We have physical and emotional needs that are met during sex. And having a healthy sex life has a lot of benefits. Emotionally, you connect with each other on a deeper level. It allows you both to reduce stress and tension in your life, and it also boosts your self-esteem and confidence. On a physical level, it's going to boost your immune system, improve your sleep, and balance your hormones, which guess what, are directly responsible for the level of desire you have for sex. So I don't want to belabor the point here, but sex is good for you and you should be having more of it. The reason for rejection. There are numerous reasons for your wife to be saying no, so let's take a look at them now. Number 1 is biological. Maybe you and your wife have mismatched libidos. Your wife might have an imbalance in her hormones of estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. The easiest thing to do in this case is to get a blood test done to identify if this is a problem and then consult with a medical professional on the steps necessary to correct the imbalance in hormones. Number 2 is physical. Your wife might have health issues and is experiencing pain. In this case, you want to consult with a medical professional, or maybe just the act of sex is causing her pain or discomfort and she's not enjoying it. In this case, you want to talk with a sex therapist. Number 3 is mental. If your wife was sexually abused in the past and experienced trauma, this can have a huge impact on her drive. The best way forward here is to seek out help through a counselor or a therapist. I will say one thing though, if you and your wife have had a healthy sex life but it's now dropped off and your wife is saying it's because of trauma from the past, it's not necessarily the case. It's not the root problem, and this leads me on to my final point. Number 4, emotional. A comprehensive study known as the Lauman study found that emotional connection was a key component to sexual desire in a marriage. Emotional connection can be defined as a deep bond between individuals where they feel secure to share their thoughts, emotions, desires, and vulnerabilities. Now think about that for a moment. How emotionally connected have you been feeling to your wife recently? I guarantee you it's not very much. Now I want you to imagine emotional connection like a map. You and your wife have your own unique map which helps you navigate the world. Now the mistake that most of us make is we try to impose our map onto other people, and this leads to misunderstandings. We're navigating our world based off our map rather than trying to understand the other person's map and how they navigate the world. So we make false assumptions, and we all know that saying, when we assume, we make an ass out of you and me, and this is exactly what happens. We look at our map, don't consider the other person's map, we make assumptions, and this just leads to misunderstandings and conflict. Now the way to resolve this is to be able to open up and to share with your wife how your map looks like so she gets an understanding for you, and at the same time to be able to ask the right questions so you can start to understand how her map looks like. So let me give you a practical example for how this could look like when you're being sexually rejected. You're going to want to start a conversation with your wife, and it's really important when you open up communication with your wife that you don't have any misconceptions or preconceptions about her thoughts or emotions. So if she said the night before that she didn't want to have sex with you and she gave you a reason for it, within 24 hours you want to have a chat with her, and you're going to start off the conversation with a fact and a feeling. Now this is really important because you're going to be giving your wife insight into how your map looks like. So the fact is sticking to something that's factual, that your wife's going to know, okay, yes, that happened, and the feeling is how you felt about it, and that's giving your wife insight into your map. So the conversation would start like this: yesterday when we were in bed, you said you weren't in the mood and I felt sad. Can you help me understand what was going on for you? So you've shared with your wife what's going on for you, and now what's really important important is to listen without judgment to how she sees the situation. And by doing this time and time again, you and your wife get a better understanding for each other, an understanding for each other's map, and this creates this deep bond of emotional connection. Now, there is still one major roadblock preventing emotional connection in marriages, and once you know it, it'll be the key to unlocking your wife's sex drive. Watch this next video to find out.